Yo, what's going on, guys? So usually whenever I title a video like this, it's usually a good thing, meaning that the snipers are so good that some may consider them as broken. It will piss a lot of people off. But for this video, it's actually going to be the opposite. The snipers have a good amount of things wrong with them this year in Black Ops 6, and it's time we rip off the band-aid. The honeymoon phase is over, and we're gonna get real about these snipers because there's a good list of things that are actually wrong with snipers this year. Some could say these are the worst stock snipers in any Call of Duty, and that sounds pretty insane. I want to let this be known that I'm actually having a good time on this game this year. I'm loving this game. I'm almost about to be first prestige. I didn't have any double XP. I thought I'd be prestige by now, but the leveling seems kind of slow without XP, but that's for another day. It's kind of unfortunate, man. I have this list written down of things that are pretty weird about snipers. So if you guys find yourself not having as good of a time as you thought you'd have, just know that it might not actually be you. There's a good amount of things that are weird with snipers this year, and we're going to go over them. This 7 a.m. commentary is hitting different, by the way. We're still recovering from our 24-hour stream where we hit one of our best clips as well. It's in the video that we uploaded yesterday. Shout out to you guys if you saw that as well. Thank you so much for the support on yesterday's video, and if you guys are new, drop a sub. We're on the road to 400,000 subscribers. Gonna be a good year with Black Ops 6. Once they address these sniper issues, I think we're gonna be eaten. So the first thing wrong with snipers that I wanted to talk about, which is 100% the main issue with snipers, and I said this in the beta hoping it would be fixed for the full game. Unfortunately, it did not get fixed, and honestly, a lot of the constructive criticism for snipers in the beta did not get fixed for the full game, which kind of sucks, but maybe it'll be fixed for season 1, hopefully before that as well. But the first thing is the fact that the scopes are not centered. True Game Data made a beautiful video on this, and he also made a tweet. It's just simple as this, man. When you scope in, your reticle is not lined up with the center of your screen. It almost is like Black Ops 1 pre-patch. Not as bad, thankfully, but this is the closest thing we've gotten to Black Ops 1 pre-patch sniping in a long time, man. This should just not be in any Call of Duty. It just makes you second guess every single time you're aiming in with a sniper because there's so much sway inside the scope as soon as you aim in, on top of it being uncentered. It feels incredibly weird and is probably the main reason why a lot of you think that the sniping feels off. Now, I don't know if this is intentional or if this is something that Treyarch actually did on purpose, but I just think this has no place in Call of Duty, man. There's different ways to make sniping harder without completely ruining them in a sense, and this is something that is detrimental to sniping. Again, this is something Sledgehammer perfectly fixed back in Modern Warfare 3. I'll put a tweet up on the screen. They added an update a few months into the game that fixed the centering completely, and it made mouse and keyboard input and controller input feel so much better with any scoped weapon. It would be perfect if Treyarch implemented this exact patch or something similar. It would automatically make sniping feel 10 times better. And now the next thing I wanted to talk about is the vertical recoil. This is also something that is brand new to Call of Duty sniping that we've never really seen before. There's been something like this before, a little tiny bit of vertical recoil, but in this COD, I'm not going to have any sort of input on my right analog stick to move my aim in any way. But when you aim in and shoot, the vertical recoil pushes the gun up and up and up, and it just keeps going up. These things alone make sniping feel so weird, but when you combine all these problems, it makes it just feel terrible, man. This is also with a default sniper. I wanted to show this just to show you the raw input of sniping without any attachments modifying it, but that's just criminal, dude. Like, it's just, I've never seen this in any Call of Duty before. This is the first time where the vertical recoil is so bad that it'll bring you to the sky when you're done firing. One of the other things that you'll find with snipers that feel a little bit weird is the scope wobbling. The more you move around, you'll feel this, but every time you aim in and every time you jump and try to shoot with the sniper, the reticle is just so wobbly and it goes all over the place. I also talked about this in the beta. The reticle starts moving across the screen when you're trying to shoot and quickscope somebody. God, that wobble right there. Ooh, get it out of the game. It just makes it feel so awkward, almost impossible to track somebody as they're moving in your scope. And a lot of times when you find yourself doing a lot of movement and then aim in and shoot and come back up, that initial wobble right there when you aim back in makes it feel so weird. And that actually ties it in to the next topic I wanted to talk about, which is a huge bummer in my opinion. One of the worst cons to any of the attachments is the rapid fire con with the horizontal recoil control and vertical recoil control. Guys, this is probably something that is throwing you off a lot that you don't even realize. When you put rapid fire on, you aim in, shoot, and then aim back in, that wobble is because of the rapid fire. It does this without the rapid fire as well. It's the animation when you're cocking the gun back that causes the reticle to bounce like that. But when you have rapid fire, it makes it feel really bad, man. That is probably why when you get one kill and you aim back in for the second, you kind of have to wait like half of a second, maybe a full second, for your reticle to be centered back in the screen because it's wobbling so much. This makes it super annoying and super frustrating to quickscope. I feel like this should just be completely removed, man, because that just feels so bad trying to aim back in and quickscope somebody when your reticle is just bobbing all over the place. Combined with it being uncentered, like, guys, oh my God, we're going through it here. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the flinch. Listen, there's a lot of class setups that you can make in this game for the snipers to be really nice, but one of the things that I'm not a fan of is how many attachments you need to put on the gun to make the sniper usable. And what I mean by that, when it ties into the flinch, I think the heavy stock is a must-use attachment right now because of how bad the flinch is without it. I'm going to put an example up on the screen of how bad the flinch is when you're getting shot without the heavy stock compared to how it is when you're getting shot with a heavy stock, and it is night and day. And again, some of you may be saying, okay, well, that's with default attachment, so if you put an attachment on, that'll help it. It's like with the centering. If you put the tactical laser on, it'll help, or the Strelok laser. We shouldn't have to put an attachment on our sniper to make the damn thing usable. And these problems aren't just with the frost line as well. It's the same thing with the LR7. As you can see, like if you're aiming back in, that scope just wobbles all over the place. So it's not like this is unique to one gun. And you definitely know that's the case for the Dragunov too, this weird ass sniper. Like, look, man, I'm all for sniping being difficult, but there's a fine line to where it just becomes awkward and annoying to use. This isn't just something that us snipers are feeling. This is something that everybody is feeling, man. I've been getting a lot of complaints. People are like, is this just me? It is not just you, man. Unfortunately, the Black Ops 6 snipers have more problems than any other Call of Duty. I think the snipers could benefit from a slight ADS buff as well. If we take a look at the stats, I don't know why the attachments kind of cover it right here, but you can see its aim down sight speed is 480 milliseconds. I would like to see it down to maybe like the 450s, maybe 440s. A slight ADS buff could help us out a lot because the ray guns, I've heard the ray guns feel amazing. When I've used them a little bit as well, they feel great. There's barely any complaints that I've seen with the ray guns. If we can get the snipers to feel as good as the ray guns, I mean, we are going to be eating. The LR7 is at 520 millisecond ADS speed. Maybe getting it to around the 500, below the 500 would be good as well. And I cannot end this video without talking about the no-scope delay. The no-scope penalty is the worst it's ever been in any other COD. Matter of fact, it's actually never been in any other COD. You jump, press the trigger, and for some reason, it's like a whole second late before it actually shoots. Sometimes you don't even need to jump and shoot. You can just press the trigger and no-scope, and it is god-awful. I could put some examples on the screen right now. It is so bad to the point where I think Treyarch actually did this on purpose, and I really hope it gets fixed, because if it doesn't, no-scope clips are just going to be god tier, I guess, because nobody's going to go for them, and nobody's going to hit them, so I really hope that gets fixed. And here's something I found hilarious. You know something's up if Reddit is complaining about it. Usually Reddit is the site where they shit on us. They think we are the devil, snipers are overpowered, but you know something's up. I mean, take a look at these screenshots. People are like, am I going crazy? Are the snipers just feeling more awkward to use than usual? I've had people come into my chat saying camo grinding was hell because of how much sway is inside the scope because you have to get the headshots. And here's the thing. If Treyarch actually did all of this on purpose and they really tried to nerf quickscoping and they wanted us to use snipers the real way, like sitting in the back, the maps don't even allow that. Majority of them are small to medium sized, and they just aren't really that great for sitting in the back of the map on some Chris Kyle shit, just hard scoping. So it's like, Treyarch, where do you want the snipers to be? Do we want them to be super wobbly and uncontrollable to the point where you have to sit in the back of the map, and that means not many people are going to use them? Or are we going to get a little bit of help and use these snipers not in a crazy aggressive way, but in a fun quick scoping way that we've always used for the past almost 2 decades in Call of Duty? I think with these fixes mentioned in the video, sniping could go from like a 6 out of 10 to an 8.5, 9 out of 10, but it's up to Treyarch to fix them. So what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to fix them? Let me know down in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys in the stream. If not, I'll see you in the next upload. Deuces.
How in the fuck are you about to say? The way that we do it, it's not the way. No, don't you sweat it, you not in the way.